It's wonderful to be back in Paris after more than 2 years with a défilé for 100 years of Akris. You know, for me, it's a proud look back to see what 3 generations of our family and all our teams through the generations have achieved. And now we are back in Paris with 100 years of Akris to look into the future. As you know, fashion is never a solo love affair. It has to do with people, with teams, with relations. In the later 80s, I admired one gentleman's fabulous collections. I called him and then I said, I would like to work with your collection. And then I was looking into this collection and I selected just that hard print to start with. And that hard print for sure got a great success then in my collections. But it was much more. It was the departure of a unique collaboration. Then I really deepened in my 80s vintage, you know. There's some very late 70s pieces, few, the 80s and then some early 90s. And I selected 9 looks which are impressively modern. Probably they are today more modern than they were then. It seemed like we are up to a new venture, like we are entering in a new century. So it's anything we have done over the last 20 years, but it's purely Akris. Look, one is very important. It's an honor to my father. I remember the day very much when we went to see our cashmere supplier in Como. My father hesitated because of the price, and we bought this 2.5 meter for the first coat. It was in the genes of my grandmother and my father to select fabric already, and you know how passionate I am about today. So my colors, which you see on the runway, are really new lace. The rest of all the lace is out of my vintage archive and are a very typical Akris story about fabric and timelessness. This croquis embroidery and this croquis print, it's not an idea of mine, it's an idea of my team, and I found it charming that my team collected all my drawings and made me that proposal to do the croquis print. I was moved and tempted. It was not only an anniversary surprise, it was also an anniversary gift for me. One man or one woman does nothing in this industry. It's a team of masters. So without my 8 masters, Akris would not be what it is. There's a real tailor, there's a jacket and coat designer, there is a blouse designer, there's a pant designer, my fabulous hand for dresses, but there is a knit designer and a handbag designer. To get in the 100 years, Peter and myself wanted to do a book which was celebrating the 100 years. We give short and precise overview about my fabulous grandmother, about my wonderful parents, and our moment since Peter and myself are running the company. We wanted to approach our vintage book looking into our own archive. And I think this is part also of the celebration in our book. It's Akris in St. Gallen, but it's also Akris built in the team surroundings. I felt very spoiled that we could show our collection within the parvis between the 2 museums. It's glamorous architecture, one of a kind here in Paris. I started thinking of Ugo Rondinone's rainbows. The rainbow is a wonderful natural phenomena, but then it's also what's after the rainbow, and it goes on. It stands for a new horizon, it stands for diversity, it stands for hope, it stands also for peace. My collection is very subjective. It has to do with us and our work. On the other side, there is an irrationality. It needs to be just felt. And that's what I think about my clothes. It's a collection where past, present and future coexist.